Hello and welcome back to Sports Talk Live. Today is the last episode of our first season here on STL. Remember to like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter to stay updated with sports here at Westchester University. Stay in tune with everything here on STL by visiting our website, sportstalklive.net. We have a special poll question this week. We want your input on who was your favorite analyst of Season 1. Should be interesting. Today we will wrap up the major sports going on here at Westchester, and we will have one final Ram of the Week, a very special edition of Top Plays where we recap the greatest plays this season, and then we will finish up with a Phillies sports edition of Outside the Horns. Let's start it off with a little bit of baseball.
The Golden Rams finished up the regular season strong, winning 5 of their last 6 games. Congratulations to Jad Prachniak, who won Coach of the Year. Other awards went to Joe Gunkel, who won Pitcher of the Year, and Joe Wendell, who won Player of the Year, all for the PSAC East. Those two were joined by Jack Provine and Jordan Wodarczyk on all PSAC East teams. Westchester won the PSAC East and will be competing in the PSAC tournament starting today, Wednesday, May 2nd, against Slippery Rock. Let's break down the season as it's coming to a close.
Well, looking at the season overall, it was just a really impressive season. I don't think anyone expected for Westchester to have the season they did. They proved a lot of people wrong. They started off really hot in the beginning of the season. They went into a little bit of a slump in the middle, but then they got out of it and finished in the end really strong. They won the PSAC East, which is exactly what we wanted to do. So I think everyone's happy with what we did so far.
Oh, definitely. But I think you saw us go in that little slump. It's because we started playing better teams on a consistent basis. And you look at the PSAC East, they're all really good teams. You got Kutztown, Bloomsburg, East Stroudsburg, you go on and on. They're all pretty good teams. It's a very deep conference.
Right, and again, our hitting was really good this year, but what I thought stood out was our pitching and our young pitching. 2 of our best pitchers were sophomores, so I think they have a bright future ahead, especially come playoff time.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and we were talking about it earlier in an earlier episode about how we started struggling a little bit defensively. I think towards the end of the season, we really were making some really nice plays. We'll see a little bit of them later,
yes,
but we made a lot of nice plays, and that really helped our pitching, which has been dominant the whole entire year, and then our hitting came back, and I think that's why we were so successful.
He touched on it a couple episodes ago. You know, you clean up the act in the field, and it takes the pressure off when you come to the plate, and it makes your job a whole lot easier.
But guys, you got to remember one thing, and that is the biggest reason, at least I feel, that we were winning so many games was by Joe Wendell. You know, the Player of the Year, as you guys mentioned earlier. So I thought he did a great job for the Golden Rams this season.
You couldn't have asked for a better year from Westchester's second baseman, Joe Wendell. He batted an impressive .408 with 10 doubles, 7 triples, 47 RBIs, and a team-leading 12 home runs, tied for 17th in the country. On top of that, he was a 3-time PSAC East Athlete of the Week. This past week, he went 4 for 4 with 3 home runs, 6 RBIs, in a 9-8 victory over Bloomsburg. He was one of the main reasons why our baseball team had so much success this year, and it's no doubt why Joe Wendell is Sports Talk Live's Ram of the Week.
Yeah, you're right, Brian. Joe Wendell was huge this season. He was the main reason for our success on the field. But as a team, what do you guys think about a postseason run?
Well, personally, I think we have a really good shot. I think we're going into the tournament now. I'm going to guess that we're going to win that, make our way into regionals, and that's where it's going to get tough. There's so many good teams when we get into the regionals. I'm hoping that they're going to keep going from there, but I could see it stopping there. I'm hoping that it's not going to, but that's where I see the season ending up.
Brian, I feel the same way as you. Again, we have a lot of seniors and a lot of young guys, so I think we have a good mix. So I think we have a shot. But again, once we get into regionals and even if we get to nationals, that's going to be tough. Playing against some really competitive teams there.
I mean, I think getting out of the PSAC, winning the PSAC might be the toughest thing for us. I mean, you look, we're 14th in the country right now, so we should make regionals whether or not we win. So, but you look at all the teams in the PSAC, I think it's going to be tough just winning that, and then we'll get the regionals and see what happens there.
All right, now let's move on and take a look at the Westchester's women's lacrosse team. As the ladies are red hot as they finished the season winning 10 of their last 11 games, including winning 3 of 4 against ranked opponents in the last month. So, what do you guys think? Do you think at the end of the year they can make a good postseason push?
Well, guys, I like Westchester's chances. They're going to go into the tournament in the semifinals. So if they get past there, they're in the finals. My opinion, it's going to be Lock Haven versus Westchester, the 1-2 matchup. They're the best 2 teams in the area. And I could see a little bit of revenge because we lost to them a couple weeks ago by 3 at home. I think they're going to, use that and get past them and move on into the regionals.
Yeah, I like them taking the PSAC, but when you look at the broader pictures, like after that, the regionals, the NCAA, we're sitting second in the region. I believe we're 8th in the country, and that hasn't even taken into account our last few wins. So I'm sure we'll be moving up. I really like our chances come in the national tournament.
Right, and I have to agree with you both. Again, during the season, we played a lot of ranked teams, including number 1 Lemoyne team, and we beat them. So I think we have a good shot. We've been playing well, and I think going in there, I like our chances.
Taking a look at the last segment of Rate That Play, Tori Dugan's behind-the-back goal dominated the poll, receiving 94% of the votes. This week, we're switching it up a little bit. We're going to take all of the finest plays of our first season of STL, and we compiled them into the Great 8, which are the best 8 plays of Sports Talk Live thus far. Let's take a look.
You the best, you the best, best I ever had, best I ever had.
Let's kick off the grade 8s with number 8, as this highlights Allison Hostetter's senior year here at Westchester as she goes over 1,000 career points, and she just really led this team the whole year.
Yeah, but for me, it really isn't about the 1,000 points or the scoring. As you can see in these highlights, 3 really great assists. She's not about just putting the ball in the basket, but she's dishing it to her teammates, giving them opportunities to score as well. And I think that's why Westchester had such success this year.
Let's take a look at number 7.
Yeah, number 7, just a really great play on the baseball field. Chris Pula with the one-handed grab.
Yeah, you can't ask for a better way to finish the game here with such a nice defensive play.
Let's take a look at number 6.
At number 6, we're on the hardwood, as Lance McDowell has not 1, but 2 amazing putback dunks.
Yeah, Carl Johnson misses it last, but Lance never gives up and has some really nice highlight dunks because of it. Let's take a look at number 5.
At number 5, we got Justin Lamborn laying out, getting up, and making a strong throw the first for the out.
Yeah, I really can't believe that not only did he make the play, but he got up quick enough and was able to make the throw to first place. It's just great. Here we go, number 4.
At number 4, we got Carl with an absolutely amazing N1. How'd this thing go in?
Yeah, I have no idea, but it was really key in the comeback against IUP.
This cut the lead down, and without it, who knows what would have happened. Let's take a look at number 3.
Well, number 3, back on the baseball field, Mike Ramo coming out of nowhere, making the diving catch in center field.
Yeah, he comes out of nowhere, as you can see, and makes a splendid catch. What's better than this?
I don't know, let's look at number 2.
At number 2, we're on the lacrosse field as Tori Dugan comes from behind the net and scores an amazing goal.
Yeah, I mean, we're all waiting for her to shoot the ball. All of a sudden, it's behind her back and in the net. Just a remarkable goal.
And number 1 play?
Well, I'm pretty sure everyone expected this one. We got John Breeden hitting the buzzer beater against IUP.
I mean, I still can't believe he made this shot. That place went absolutely berserk.
Yeah, it was really remarkable. It was such a great shot. How we go down in the studio and break this one down a little bit more. Well, we all had the pleasure of watching this shot live, and it was just a really great shot. Everyone in Hollinger Fieldhouse was going crazy. I'm pretty sure 10 minutes before that, no one thought we even had a chance of winning the game. It was just really a great play. What do you guys think?
Yeah, absolutely. It topped off an amazing comeback on Westchester's part. And because so many people were in Hollinger, I've never seen that place that full. It made it even more special as the student body really came out and really got to see something amazing.
Right, and with John hitting it, you saw Westchester's leader come up and make a big shot at the end of the game. And that's why we moved on. That's why we had such a good team during the year, was because of John. So it was nice to see him come up and hit a big shot like that.
Let's finish up by breaking down some Phillies sports here on Outside the Horns. To start off, let's look at the Flyers as they move further on in the playoffs.
Well, with their recent loss last night in Game 2, they dropped to 1-1 in the series with the Devils. And after leading 1-0 going into the third period, they gave up 4 unanswered goals. So they really did not look good. What do you guys think moving forward?
I mean, you were right, but we can't overlook that Brizgalov played a lot better. Our defense really let us down, and even our offense, both of them really didn't play that well. And Brizgalov did play well until the very end. So I think there's a bright spot in there, and I think they have a shot.
Yeah, I agree with you there. In the first 2 periods, Briz played unbelievable. I thought it was the best he's played the entire playoffs. But in the third period, it looked more like a first period for the Flyers, where we didn't show up to play at all in that period. We, frankly, just deserved to lose that game. I'm going to hope that they turn it around, because if they play anything like they did in that third period, they don't have a chance.
Yeah, they can't play 2 good periods in one absolutely horrible period, because that goes to show you what will happen.
Right, and our offense is too good, though. I just think going forward against Brodeur, our offense has been scoring all year. It's been scored in the playoffs against Fleury, so I just think that we have a good shot. And with our offense, we'll be all right.
What do you guys see the series? How far do you think it's going, and who?
Okay, well, I'm hoping that it's going to be the Flyers, in a little less games, but I think it's going to go down to Game 7, and I really don't know. I have no idea who's
think
going to
the
win this
home
series.
ice
I
will-
think what's going to come down to is goaltending. In the end, it's going to come down to Game 7. It's going to be goaltending. Whoever shows up to play, that's who's going to win the series. I'm hoping it's the Flyers, but I really don't know at this point.
I'm going to go, unlike the last series, I'm going to go an entirely different way. I'm going to say they win the rest of their games. I think this is just a blip on the track. That I think we're going all the way now. I was nervous about the Penguins, but I think now we're going to go all the way. What about you, Riley?
Well, I mean, before this game, if you would have asked me, I would have said, like, after game 1, 4 or 5. But after this, it makes me question. I'd like to see how they come out and respond. I would say Flyers in 6, maybe even 7, like Brian.
Yeah, well, let's hope that happens. We have one more Philly team in the playoffs, the Sixers. What do you guys think of their postseason chances?
All right, guys. After last night's blowout of the Bulls, I think the Sixers have a really great chance. It's 1-1. The series is at now. What do you guys think is going to be up for the Sixers in this series?
Well, I mean, before game 2, even with Rose going down in the first game, I still thought that, looking at the play of the two teams, that the Bulls had a good chance of beating us. But after last night, I mean, that was absolutely unbelievable. We really stepped it up defensively. You got to love the effort, the hustle. We got out and had a bunch of fast break points. If we keep that up, I can see us winning at 6.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was a little bit nervous in the beginning because I thought the Bulls were the best team, to lose their star player. It sounds weird, but they have such good depth behind that.
Exactly.
And they were showing that in the first half of the game. But then it's exactly what I was expecting towards the end of the game. That's when they started falling apart because that's usually when the superstar steps up in the game, and that's exactly what happened. So hopefully that continues for the rest of the series. I think if we're going to pull it out, it's going to be in 7. I still think the Bulls have the upper hand. If I'm going to take my guess, I'm taking the Sixers in 7, though.
Yeah, the only thing with the Bulls is if this is psychological, if it goes through the head that, Rose is out, like everyone's saying, oh, they're done. There's no way they can't get past the Heat. They're not. Their season's over. Even if they win this series, if they listen to that, they're in trouble. And that's where the Sixers will sneak up and
But
knock them out of the playoffs.
just coming off of what Brian said, though, when he said about how good their team is, he's right. They have a lot of good players. They have a lot of depth, and they're really long. And I just feel as though the Sixers blew them out this last game, we have to be careful not to overlook them and think, oh, just because their star players out that they're not going to play well. But overall, we'll see. And I think with our young talent, that we'll have a good shot.
Yeah, I agree. Lastly, let's take a look at the Phillies, as they've been pretty mediocre to start this season. Well, with the Phillies' most recent win over the Braves, they're back at 500, but I mean, it's still a pretty bad start for them. What do you guys think?
Well, I mean, I think it's steps in the right direction. I mean, our bats are showing up, or are getting closer to showing up. Wigington's getting more comfortable. He's got a hitting streak going. I mean, if they can keep it up, and I mean, Lee's injured. If our pitching can stay healthy, then I expect us to stay over 500.
Riley, and I agree with you. I think Lee's the key in this instance. Howdy's pitching well. We saw Hamels last night pitch well. Even Worley's throwing good games. So really, it's up to Lee to come back and to stabilize our pitching until all of our hitters come back later in the year.
The difference, the X factor for me is Worley, though, and you touched on it. He's been pitching really well so far. He's that fourth guy. Oswald's gone this year, so if he steps up and has a great second year, that's going to be huge for our whole team. And even Galvez, he's getting so much playing time right now. And then when Utley does come back, when he needs a day off, it's like, okay, we got Galvez to step in. He has experience. He can contribute. Fielding, he's been absolutely amazing. Mm-hmm. Hitting, he's been kind of streaky, but he's come up with big hits in RBI situations. So all the experience, you gotta love it for such a young guy.
Yeah, and I think no one expected him to be hitting, so it's not like
it's only a plus.
Exactly, and his fielding, I heard that he was great coming up, but I didn't expect him to be this good. The way he tracks the ball and gets up, makes those throws, it's really just unbelievable. So it's nice for him to get some practice in, because in the end, say Utley goes down again, we might need him come playoff time. So it's really nice.
Now, where are you guys on your concern? Are you concerned at all? Are you a little concerned right now with the mentality, say, or are you really concerned?
I would say for me, I'm just a little concerned. Again, the big thing is that it's early. Brian's right with everything he said. We can't have that mentality that they'll come back and we'll be good. But you have to realize that Galvis is not the caliber player that Utley is, and Howard with Wingingham. So at the end of the day, I would say a little concerned, but they have to step their game up.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm not too concerned. I'm just more concerned with the mentality that it seems like all Philadelphia has and the players. We have the talent, so in the end, it's not like we're going to have a really bad season. I think at some point we're going to pick it up and we're going to be fine, and it's going to be even nicer when Chase Utley and Howard come back, and we're going to make a really nice postseason run as we usually do.
I agree with you 100% on that one.
Well, that's all we have for this season on STL. As we say goodbye, remember that we still have 2 playoff teams here at Westchester. So keep following us on Sports Talk Live to stay updated. Remember to go on sportstalklive.net to vote on our poll question of who your favorite analyst of the season was. Should be interesting. And we'll be back next September, same time, same place. Take it easy, Westchester.